Let's talk about Holy Foley, okay? It's nice to kind of watch something on the W Network, particularly last night, that isn't fucking disappointing. Now let's talk about Holy Foley, and you know what I'm talking about. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Come on, what the hell was that? But let's talk about Holy Foley. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it kind of embarrassing for the hardcore legend, even though he's done some really bad things that he didn't want to do to get to the top? Overall, Holy Foley is actually a pretty good show. It's not Kardashian bad, people. But overall, it's a very kind of easygoing and relatable enough show. I think there's a lot of things kind of going in on the show that I personally kind of really enjoyed because it's not taking itself too seriously, and it's a pretty fun family to kind of watch just in general. Now, a couple of things we kind of learned, or what I did like, is that I like seeing Goofy McFoley because we don't really get to see that much really on Raw. He's kind of serious, but we get to see Goofy McFoley, which is where he's at his all-time best. That's just how Mick is. But we also get to see a little bit of a different side of Mick, particularly a little bit of a serious side because of his parenting skills. We get to see a little bit of an insight to him. Now, we get to see some of his family, obviously, as you pretty much know, from Huey, Louie, and whatever the fuck the rest of the crew is, Noel and his wife. Now, his wife has got like a Stifler's mom hotness thing going on. I don't know what it was, but she kind of was striking me just in general. His sons, what I did like that kind of was also relatable was that his sons were kind of, when they kind of introduced him, his sons were playing like with wrestlers, whatever it may be. And it kind of brought me back to like nostalgia lane because that was actually quite cool because back then I kind of used to play with wrestlers and like make my own pay-per-views with my brother and we just, you know, write our own storylines, whatever it may be. That was actually quite fun and that kind of took me back, so I like seeing that. And it was also kind of sad to see his son had autism. I didn't know that. Just in general. Now, for me personally, I did like seeing the relationship between the Foley family. Now, sometimes it does feel like it's a little bit cringeworthy, particularly because of the mom. She seemed like she's a little bit, it's like the producers just like, hey, act a little bit more crazy, like an eccentric, you know, overbearing mother that wants her daughter to do modeling. But there's a couple of other things like define the parents, you know, doing your own thing instead of like doing something your parents want to do. Or the fact that, you know, as I said, for the wrestlers, whatever it may be, the particular plot of this episode was kind of Noelle pretty much wanted to drop a bombshell, which is pretty much, you know, she wants to be a wrestler, whatever it may be. She's dating a fucking clown. Literally. She's dating a clown, as they said. Noelle Foley is just like Mick, pretty much just in a very hot body. Now, granted, I will watch this entire season. I do not give a shit. I love Mick. Granted, I like the family, but I'm telling you this right now. If you are not a fan of Noelle from the show, or from her Instagram, her Twitter, her Facebook, or her fucking Google images, I guarantee you something's wrong with you. But overall, this was a pretty interesting show. It's not really anything like, oh, this is great, but it gave us an insight into the Foley household. Also, he talks about Christmas like it's the greatest time of the year, and I don't care what anybody says. For most of the year, I guarantee you, I'm kind of an asshole, right? But when it comes to Christmas, I actually kind of just become a kid again. So I'm kind of with Foley. Just kind of, it's a very easygoing time. But that's just my thoughts just in general. Did you enjoy Holy fucking Foley? Did you enjoy Noelle? Did you look at her stuff afterwards and kind of enjoy all that good quality entertainment? What is it going to be? Do you think she could be a good wrestler? Who knows? But the next episode is coming up to watch. Let's do that. Comment, subscribe, and like. I'm Chris Smith. I'm signing out.